Hello, welcome back to the RV. Thank you for the nice comments on all the paint and whatever bathroom kitchen projects. Today we're going to do the floor, at least in the kitchen anyway. I have my assistant, what's your name? Julia. What we're going to do, we're going to tear up the carpet. We're going to put some stick down parquet tile floor. Some stick down type parquet floor. This is the well-known floor of American poverty. If anyone's ever had the pleasure of being in a project house, they will have recognized these floors. This is the cheapest floor you can get, but it also maintains the sort of 60s, 70s motif, really, in my 1987 RV. Anyway, for this job, we're going to need a utility knife. Check. Some hammers. Checky check. A pry bar. Actually, you know what? We don't need a pry bar. Let's forget about that. We have plenty of hammers. Let's get to it. Alright, what I want is a nice clean area, clean cut across here, because I'm going to recarpet the living room, and I'm not going to retile. I'm just going to put tile in the kitchen and bathroom area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run a line across here and make it as straight as I can. I'll run the tiles long into there. I have a few extra ones if need be, and then so later I can put just a little transition strip, and that'll be that. There's Julia there. Anyway, so we'll start here.
You can rip all that out as well.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am, as much as you can, take that hammer, just take it, and then you pull that up. Slide it in, pull it up. And I'll cut this off here. I'll cut. As I cut, you pry it up. Ma'am, don't kneel down on this because there'll be little staples and stuff. But what I want you to do is gently run your hand around. And anywhere you find those staples, see those blue-handled pliers or the red-handled pliers. Quick tip, when ripping up carpet, if you cut it in a smaller section, you'll have to rip out the whole thing at once. It's nicer for cleanup if you can rip out one whole piece and you can roll it up, but for the sake of your back, if you cut it into smaller ones, it makes your life a lot easier. So no staples? I feel like you're not looking. If I find staples in your area, I'm going to rub your nose in it, and you're going to bleed. You're going to bleed out. You're going to need staples in your head. What do you think about that? What do you think about the violent things I just said?
I think they're very mean.
You think they're very mean? Yeah. What are you going to do about it? Oh, don't be sad.
Don't put staples in my face.
I won't. The doctor will. Alright, there definitely are some over here. Just right, they'll be along the cabinet there, my love. Doesn't seem like you're working very much, really. I'm busted. Hello. I would like to show you I often use a pipe wrench when taking up old carpet. You can just grab a bit of it and then you pry down just a little bit at a time. Especially in little stupid areas like this. Alright dudes, a little softer than that. We took about forever to get all these staples out of it, but what I'm gonna do is I want a full tile going down the hallway and a full tile going between the booths here, so I'll measure across here. You don't want to just jam it in the corner like a savage. 28 inches. 20 8 inches for the most part. Here's a little trick. If I want half of 28, 28, 28, boom, 14. Like, you can't do simple math in your own head, right? But the tiles are 1 foot. So 14 minus 6 is 8. So 8 inches. 8 inches. And then this way is 26. Half of 26. 13 minus 6. What?
Did you go to school?
13 minus 6. 7. Don't lie to me. Not the ground yet. Tight. Real tight. Above ground. Move yours to your left. Oh, yeah, right there. Bring it down. I almost forgot to tell you. I don't know if you can barely see it. You can see that at all, but there's a little arrow on the back of each of these tiles. Even the cheapest tiles has this little arrow. You always want this arrow to be going the same direction, no matter how big the room is, no matter how cheap the tile, because you have like a little, it's got a slight pattern difference. It doesn't seem like it, but it does, like where these lines are going to line up perfectly. So again, no matter what, cut pieces or whatever, you always want to respect where that little arrow is. Alright, cutting these is pretty straightforward. Again, the arrow goes that way, so this side's getting cut. So you do this. There's going to be cove base here, so it doesn't need to be perfect. These are actually for vinyl siding, but they work quite well for this. And then you can use a square, but these are getting covered up with baseboard on this side. I'll show you how to do it perfectly for another one. Check it first. Fantastic. Fantastico. Excelente.
Excelente.
Excelente. Howdy folks, we're going to show you how to do all the cuts, butts, and coconuts. It's quite easy to cut. I just use this speed square and a utility knife and a tape measure. And what I'll do is, this is probably the most difficult cut I have, really. Right down yonder. That direction is 7 inches on the nose. That never happens. And about 7 7/8. Again, we're going to respect that little arrow there. I don't know if you can see it, so that way the pattern stays the same. It's up the same way the floor is. We're going to set that at, I'm going to shave a 1/16 off, and it won't matter. I'll show you why. Blippity blip. Just a little mark on it. And the other side was 7 7/8. Again, I'm going to shave a 1/16. Flippity flip. Markety mark. Nice and square and tight. Alright, and this dude isn't a requirement, but as I own one, I'm going to use it. Or I'm going to make Miss Julia use it. But you put a little pressure on it, and you roll it in there. Just make sure all the seams are good and flat. there you go. So I'm just going to continue on with all the little easy cuts, and then I'll show you up some ways to make it nice and tidy and clean. For the baseboard, I'm going to be using this Cove base. You might see this a lot in like a commercial type setting or a laundry room or something. It's basically rubber baseboard. It's nice for where it's wet, maybe dog pees on things, just rubber. It's very easy to install, just a bit of glue on the back, but I'm going to show you how to cut it and put it in. Again, very easy, but it's nice in a basement, something like that. But let me show you what's what. What you want is a factory edge to butt up to the other factory edge, because it looks so tight. Oh God. So if you're going to cut, make sure you cut it where the cut edge is away and it's not in the factory edge, is button up to the other factory edge. Mark it. Square it. Always cut towards yourself. That way if the blade slips, it'll hit you right in the ball sack. Then you won't have to have any more kids. Pretty straightforward. They sell special glue for this, but it costs about $5. It's unnecessary. Any sort of liquid nail or some type of construction adhesive will do it. This is a Loctite brand. Again, it's all the same. Just a name. That's pretty much it, really. Then you take it. Slappity-doo. Look at that. Howdy folks, I got some brown caulking to match. I like to keep my camera at nice angles. That's what makes a good filmmaker, the tight angles. But yeah, right here I got some clear tan or cedar tan, and it's the kind of caulking that matches this floor the most. There's plenty of different color caulking down the old caulking aisle. A lot of caulk down there. A lot of different types of caulk. I like brown caulk for the floor. But really, that's what separates the PTPs from the FTPs. That's the playtime personalities. But see it right now? Maybe you can't see it real well on the camera, but you take a little bit of this guy right here. Oh, look at that. Tight. Where does the floor end? Where does the wall begin? I don't know. It's like I'm just surrounded by faux wood. It's fantastic, seamless, waterproof, beautiful. Oh my God. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Look at it. Look at it. Oh my God. Alright, homies, you might not be able to see this very well. But what I did before, I'm putting in this Cove base here, but I caulked it first as well. That's just because there's a lot of water right here. So it's a little bit of extra protection. For both the floor and the wall. Well, that's pretty much it, dudes. Later I'm going to come back and do this carpet right here, so I'm just leaving it to there. Again, I might bring it out a little bit farther and do a transition. I got some bits to do the stairs with, but that's for another day. But yeah, so far I'm pretty pleased with it. I think it matches the decor quite well. You can see under there, it's pretty dark. But the caulking, if you notice that, nice and tight. Look at that. Yeah, I think it turned out really well. It makes the, it really kind of completes the bathroom there. The lighting in this place is not good. Yeah, caulked in, looking good. This is very cheap, kind of pretty, scale of 1 to 10, I would call this a 2 in difficulty to do, really. Just when you get little weird wonky cuts like there in the corner where it gets tough. And it's very exciting now, because now I get to use my Swiffer. I got to pull my Swiffer out of storage. Look at him. Look at him just sitting there. Oh my gosh. Welcome to the team, Swiffer. And you have to properly check the floor.
Bonus.
And in the bonus, this might be in the category of who gives a rat's ass, but I do. I care. I picked these little guys up pretty cheap at the Target. And double stick taped them, and then put some almond caulking around the sides for water or whatever from the toothpaste if I got to clean it off. Because as you remember from the other video, this is polyurethane, so I can just hose it all down with a fire hose. I don't care, but I got some soap here. Yep, so that's all working really well.
Double bonus.
welcome back to the double bonus round. Again, this might be a category of things you don't care about, but you know these doors, before I used to have a little stupid clip. What I did is like these little cabinet magnet things right here. So 1 didn't cut it. 2 didn't cut it. So we went with 3. That's 3 of these guys. But now, that works out quite well, because I just can take the door, slide. Look at that, snaps right in place. Beautiful thing. Anyway, folks, like I said, it's a fairly easy job. But if you have any questions, please post them below. Or if you just want to tell me what a nice person I am. I really need that, because I'm very insecure. So all those little nice things you say really mean a lot to me.